We're all taught to think about money like it's a science, like physics or something. A world of hard rules and laws where 2 plus 2 always equals 4. But if that's really true, then why do so many brilliant people end up totally broke? And why do others, with practically no financial training, build absolute fortunes? Well, that exact puzzle is right at the heart of Morgan Housel's incredible book, The Psychology of Money. So let's just start by flipping the whole script on everything we think we know about finance. Let's ask this really powerful question. What if getting rich has nothing to do with what you know? What if how smart you are or that fancy degree you have has way less to do with your net worth than you've been led to believe?
Because here's the big idea, the core thesis of the whole thing. Financial success is not a hard science. It's a soft skill. It's less about the numbers on a spreadsheet and way more about your psychology. How you handle things like greed and fear, how you think about risk, and maybe most importantly, how you value time.
Okay, let's make this really concrete with a perfect real-life story that shows just how powerful your behavior can be. It's a tale of two guys from two completely different worlds.
So on one side, we've got Ronald Reed, a janitor. His life was, unbelievably simple. He saved the little bits of money he could, he put it into stable, blue-chip stocks, and then he just waited for decades. Now, on the other side of the universe, you've got Richard Fuscone, a Harvard-educated exec at a top firm living this crazy lavish life. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, Fuscone, with all his brain power and experience, got wiped out, bankrupt. And Ronald Reed, the janitor, he died with over $8 million, leaving most of it to his local hospital and library.
That story just perfectly captures the core lesson here, right? The gap in their education was huge, sure, but the gap in their behavior was what really mattered. Reed's simple patience and discipline absolutely crushed Fuscone's complicated intelligence and greed. It's pretty clear one of them understood human behavior, and the other one, well, he only understood spreadsheets.
But hold on, behavior isn't the whole story. There are these other powerful forces at play in our financial lives that are so easy to ignore, mostly because you can't really see them or measure them. So let's talk about luck, its evil twin risk, and the incredible power of time. This is such a critical idea to get your head around. Our brains, they just crave these neat little stories. Success comes from hard work. Failure comes from laziness. But the real world, it's so much messier than that. Every single outcome, good or bad, is guided by forces that are way beyond our own individual effort.
So what's with this 1 in a million number? Well, back in 1968, that was roughly the chance a high school student had of going to a school that actually had a computer. And guess who was one of those students? Bill Gates. He got a 1 in a million head start that let him become a master programmer while he was still just a teenager. That's a massive dose of pure dumb luck.
But here's the flip side of that coin. Gates had a best friend, Kent Evans. He was just as smart, just as driven, and just as good with that same exact computer. They were planning to build a company together, but Kent died in a mountaineering accident before they even graduated. The odds of that happening? You guessed it. Roughly 1 in a million. See, luck and risk are just two sides of the very same coin.
Now let's talk about that third, unseen force, which might just be the most powerful of them all: time. We all know Warren Buffett is this legendary investor. But this single fact right here, it completely reframes his entire success story. It wasn't just about being a good investor. It was about being a good investor for a ridiculously long time.
And this chart just makes it so clear. Just look at that curve, will ya? His wealth wasn't built in a straight line. Not at all. It was like a slow-burning fuse for decades and decades, and then, bam, a massive explosion of wealth late in his life. That, my friends, is the unintuitive, mind-bending magic of compounding. Buffett's skill is investing, for sure, but his real secret weapon? It's time.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial distinction that almost everyone misses. We spend all this energy focusing on getting wealthy, but we almost never talk about the completely different skill set you need to stay wealthy.
Think of it like this. Getting wealthy is all offense. It often takes an aggressive mindset. You have to be optimistic, you have to take some calculated risks, and you have to put yourself out there to catch those opportunities. It's an offensive game. But staying wealthy? Whoa, that's a totally different sport. It's all defense. It requires a ton of humility and a healthy dose of paranoia. It's this constant awareness that the same risks that can build you up can just as easily wipe you out. It's all about survival. Let's go back to Buffett, because he is the absolute master of this. His true genius is in survival. His success is defined just as much by what he didn't do as by what he did. He didn't load up on crippling debt. He didn't panic and sell his stocks during the 14 recessions he lived through. He just survived. And by surviving, he let compounding work its magic for more than 75 years.
So we've talked a lot about the how of money. Behavior, luck, risk, time. But that leads us to the biggest question of all. Why? What's the ultimate point of building wealth in the first place?
Is it a bigger house? A faster car? The ability to buy a bunch of expensive stuff? I mean, yeah, those things can be nice, but they aren't the real prize. Not even close.
Well, there was this psychologist, Angus Campbell, who spent his entire career studying what actually makes people happy. And his conclusion was crystal clear. It wasn't your salary, not the size of your house, not your fancy education. The single most powerful predictor of happiness is having a strong sense of control over your own life.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. The greatest value of money, the real prize, isn't the stuff it can buy. It's that it can give you control over your time. The ability to wake up every single morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is the highest form of wealth. It is the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. That freedom is the ultimate dividend money pays.